This is Mongolian Mindset, and even on my birthday, we dropping a fucking video. Called Paul. Hey, Mercy, can you please type Steven Salvatore and the actor who plays Steven Salvatore from the Vampire Diaries personality database says he's ISFJ, but I think he's INFJ as well. As the actor, I have a full confidence in your typing skills, so I know you won't get this. Thank you for doing this, and have a good day. So you guys know. We're going to look at him for you. And I really didn't know who this guy is, so I can't really type the character because I don't know who he is. But I guess Stephen Salvatore. The actor is Paul Wesley. So we'll look at Paul Wesley. In the future, we'll come back. I know we got Rocky to look at as a character, and we have this guy to look at. I'll have to watch the show to actually see what he is. But with a strong degree, usually... people be acting as their character, as their personality type, to be honest, a lot of the time, unless they're like very like good actors. And then sometimes you'll get like INTJs who will play ENTPs and stuff, and sometimes you'll get ENTPs that'll play INTJs. It just all depends. But you guys know the first thing about Mongolian Mindset is we dominate, and we're not dominating because you guys are not subscribing. So if you guys could please subscribe to the channel, that helps us grow the channel, that helps us grow the group that we have. And we're all about getting back to Mongolian Mindset. Like I said, our goal is to be the most dominant, most effective, best information group out there when it comes to MBTI. And not only that, we want to transcend that group as soon as we get there to more mainstream and taking over that platform. And like I said, we want to put the Mongolians everywhere, man. We want everybody everywhere. We want Mongolian lawyers. We want Mongolian doctors. We want Mongolian politicians. We want all of that, okay? So that's what our overall goal is with this group. It's complete domination. And we're not dominating if you guys are not subscribing, so please subscribe. Let's get into this. Paul Wesley, okay, the monkeys at Personality Database have him as an ENTP. We will look at that ourselves, okay. We're using Linda Barrens Interaction styles and temperament combined with cognitive functions, and we will find his personality type, okay. And if you want to be typed by us, all you have to do is join our Facebook group or our Discord and message our moderator Cody. He will get you set up. We're working on calendar day to get that more effective in the future. So they have him as an ENTP. Okay. Let's check the chart here. So ENTPs. Oh yeah, we got a new chart from one of our members, Melissa. She has a easier chart for you guys to follow than this. I like this one because it's just awesome. But she has one that where you can see like the interaction styles and the things a lot easier. She has them like a step-by-step little thing. So join the group. She has that in there. She's absolutely amazing ENFP. But so they got him as Paul Wesley as a ENTP. So ENTPs we know are going to talk like non-crazy. They're going to be informative. They're going to be initiating. They're going to be systematic. They're going to be progression. They're going to be abstract, usually very abstract. They're going to be pragmatic, so they're going to break rules and whatnot. They're going to be TIFE and SINE users, okay? So let's get into this. Okay, so these are the metrics right here. Okay, so you have initiating versus responding. That's basically extroverts versus introverts. So initiating versus responding. Extroverts, the information, the brain wiring to an extrovert is a lot quicker than it is for an introvert. For introverts, the information has to travel to the back of the brain. For extroverts, they have a quicker wiring. A lot of them more to the front of the brain. So they're going to respond to things accordingly, change subject. They are going to feel comfortable leading the conversation. Then you have responding. They sit back, they reflect, they respond, they stay on topic because the information has to travel to the back of the brain, like we said. Okay, and now we have abstract versus concrete. Are they thinking about the what if, or are they talking about the what is? The abstracts would be philosophies, things outside of the five senses, contextual things, being future focused, and like we said, concrete is going to be like in the moment or the past, referencing that. Basically, nothing outside of the five senses. Okay, Be dry and boring. And then you have the systematic people. Systematic people are going to install a structure or system to get more control of their life. They're going to be looking at things from the best way to do something. And you'll see that. They like routines and stuff because that obviously a routine gives them the ability to get more control of their life. So you see somebody who's very routine oriented, usually they're systematic. Okay, let's just put that together. Okay, then you have interest and motive. Interest is all about like looking at people's behaviors or whatnot. What is someone getting out of a situation? How can we help somebody else? How can we benefit us? Like how can we benefit them? Like it's a win-win type of scenario at the least. Okay, but it's looking at people's motives and whatnot. Are they really focused on that? Are they focused on like haggling and things like that? Or that's pretty much what interest is going to be looking at. Then you have direct versus informed. Direct is specific, concise, and to the point. These people choose their role in the conversation. They enjoy. They get more out of telling people what to do. A lot of times they have forceful language. When you see that forceful language, that is indicative a lot of times of direct language. Okay, have you ever seen that person like this, like yelling at somebody in the corner? That's a direct person. Okay, but so you got the informative people. So they're vague, wordy, beating around the bush, passive aggressive, don't choose their role in the conversation, don't generally like telling people what to do. So what they do is they give you maximum context to allow you to figure out what you want to do, but they're not really telling you what to do. I think they'll be honest. That's a lot better language nowadays. As in for myself, I get in trouble a lot for being direct. I can't get out of it. So like when you say something direct, people know exactly what you mean, and it's hard to get your ass out of it. While I was an informative person, they can backtrack a little bit. They can get out of it if they wanted to, because they didn't specifically tell you. Okay. Then you got pragmatic versus affiliative. Are they rebellious? Are they a contrarian? Are they individualistic mindset? Are they a utilitarian mindset? That's more in the pragmatic realm. Then you have the affiliative. That's interdependence, cooperation, team, asking for forgiveness before you do something. Asking for permission before you do something. While pragmatic, you break rules and then ask for forgiveness afterwards. Then you have outcome versus progression. Outcome is all about looking at the end product. Are they zooming in on the end product? Is everything about the end product, or do they just care about the journey? Like the journey will take us there. The journey is the most important thing. The outcome is secondary. Is that what they're looking at? Okay. For me, I can tell you straight up, if I don't get an outcome, I'm not happy. Okay. For me to be happy, I got to get the outcome, and then the journey is amazing. Like, oh my God, I'm just like, oh. But if I don't get the outcome, I'm like, yo, I wasted my time. So you're going to be looking for that in people. Then you have SE and NI, okay? SE is all about manipulating the environment. It's going to be talking about like memory totems, like books, like pictures and whatever to bring back memories. The memories are going to be more short-term and not long-term. Then you have NI, what's the best path forward? It's going to be a little bit more future-focused, what will happen, what's most likely to happen. That type of thing. And then you have SI, which is references the past to a previous experience, whatnot. These people don't like to be comfortable. They like stability. That's gonna be more of their end. And you got any. It's like, what's the possibilities? Okay, what is the possibility? AKA the abstract SE. Okay, that's what any is. SE to me is more of the concrete any. So then you got TEFI. TE is all about outside sources. It's all about organizing the environment. I mean, not organizing, but essentially, yeah, organizing the environment. That's what it's mostly. And it's all about statistics. What did the experts say? Things like that. These people are going to be like name dropping to that degree. And then you got FI, which is like, what's the most important thing to that person? What are their values? What do they care about? What are their love? What are their passions? That's going to be more FI. And then you got TI, FE. It's all about understanding. TI is all about understanding their logical framework and applying a leverage to that. And then FE is all about understanding other people's values, feelings, that thing. So let's get into this. And like we said, guys, if you guys can please like, comment, and subscribe, that helps us grow the group, that helps us grow the channel. And you guys know we are doing this for free, man. We just want to help you guys. And like we said, Mongolian Mindset wants to dominate. And guess what? We're not dominating because you guys are not liking commenting, you guys are not liking, and you guys are not subscribing. So we need to dominate. Kevin, get down there in the comments and let us know that we're sending somebody to the psychiatric ward because we're making another video even on my birthday. So let's go.
Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper. The new show, Tell Me a Story, takes the world's most beloved fairy tales, like The Three Little Pigs and Little Red Riding Hood, and reimagines them as a dark, twisted psychological thriller. Today, I'll be joined by one of the show's stars, Paul Wesley. But first, let's check out the trailer from Tell Me a Story.
I wanted to get married, have a family. But the world is no place for that anymore.
Everybody on the floor now!
You and your three friends robbed the jewelry store.
You got the wrong guy.
The world is angry. I have to do something.
Wait. It may rain later. I'll be okay.
Cops brought me in. I'm not going down for that.
You don't threaten me.
This is wrong.
I know.
My brother's gotten into some
I
trouble.
may have to check this out.
Put my money. Let him go!
Maybe we'll get lucky.
We're not lucky people, Anna.
Everything's a little upside down right now.
Why didn't you call for help?
I called you!
This guy, he's stalking me.
You can't do this. You're not the vigilante type.
Something going on I don't know about?
That's a really good question that has a really bad answer.
Something's wrong. I will never go away. They're gonna kill us both. You're no wolf at all. You're just a sheep in wolf's clothing.
Tell me a story.
Everybody put your hands together for Paul Wesley.
Thank you. I was probably talking to the mic. Yeah, thank you.
Just initiated. I should probably talking to the mic. Let's go back. Catch it.
Everybody put your hands together for Paul Wesley.
Thank you. I was probably talking to the mic. Yeah, thank you.
Also, I love that the trailer ends on a pig head getting thrown at you.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, it just kind of sets the tone for this season.
Exactly.
So the trailer for this first premiered at Comic-Con. So
Yes.
what was that experience like? Because Comic-Con crowds are always really excited and...
Yeah, Comic-Con was... I've actually gone to Comic-Con 10 years.
How was that? She asked a question. He added extra information here. So we're going to look at him for being informative. We're just going to put an extra side of it, but he's
11 years, actually. And for the first, for the last 8 years, I've gone with the Vampire Diaries. And that show had like a built-in audience of...
8 years it came with the Vampire Diaries, that's extra information.
No, and I mean this in the most loving way, fanatics.
I mean that in the most loving way. That's more FE on attached to what he was just about to say. So
we would do Hall H, and it would be like thousands of people screaming. With this show, no one knows what it is really. So it was a lot more chill compared to my previous experiences, but it was still a lovely reception.
And I got to check out the first couple of episodes.
See how long that took him to get that out right there? Okay. Yeah.
And I love, obviously, these fairy tales we grew up with. And so I'm always so impressed when somebody's able to just flip it on its head.
Yeah.
And so tell us about how fairy tales are sort of entwined in the plot of Tell Me.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kevin Williamson, he's a genius, like the way he flipped the horror genre on its head with Scream. When you watch Scream, as a kid, it just scared the hell out of me. As an adult, I watch it and I see how smart it is, because it's sort of, you're winking to the audience. You're sort of, in a weird way, it's a satire of the horror genre while still being genuinely scary. And so what this is it's not a...
Okay, so that right there is abstract. I can say that what's that term that any users use? I think it's like, what is it? That is sounding like, pulling up the book here, I'm pretty sure it sounds like, verbal agility. That's what it sounds like. Verbal agility. There we go. This book here, highly recommended. That's what it sounds like. Verbal agility.
Satire, but it takes the fairy tales that we've all heard as children, the Three Little Pigs and the Little Red Riding Hood and all that, and they are actually very creepy. If you really, in the Three Little Pigs, the third pig tricks the wolf, boils the wolf alive and eats it. That's actually what happens in the story. And so if you actually look at these fairy tales, it's like, oh, it's the Three Little Pigs, but it's actually kind of a horror story. And so Kevin Williamson managed to twist it. It is based on a Argentinian format that already exists.
So he's talking about the system here, the Argentinian format here. I'm gonna hit on for a systematic there on that book.
Completely original, but it's original for the U.S., I suppose. Yeah.
It was original to me. I had never really seen anything quite like it, which made
yeah.
it fun and made me want to keep kind of watching.
I hope people watch it.
Yeah.
I hope you guys watch it.
And the traditional ending, but then you're like, oh, it's not going to, that they're going to take you on a ride, which makes it really amazing.
Yeah.
And you play Eddie.
I do.
Who's in the Three Little Pigs sort of storyline.
Yeah.
So tell us about Eddie.
The natural casting for one of the Three Little Pigs. Exactly. I play, so I'm one of the little pigs. In our story, we rob a jewelry store and we wear pig masks in order to rob the jewelry store, because there's a big protest. There's a police brutality protest, and there's always
giving extra information again. Ashes for the informative.
Wearing pig masks. So we come up with the idea of putting on pig masks and then blending into the crowd. Eddie is the, I don't want to give it too much away, but Eddie's the smallest pig. He's the first pig. He's the pig that is the weakest. He's a mess. He's the reason I gravitated towards this character, I was so thrilled when Kevin approached me, is because he's the opposite of everything that I've been doing for the last 8 years. He's the screw up. He's the guy that is he's got a lot of issues, and he's not the hero of the story at all. He does something really bad, quote, I hate to say that, but like general term bad. I hate to say that.
Effie. He does something bad, he doesn't want to say that.
Inevitably, things fall apart for him.
You mentioned that he was attractive because he's so flawed. Why?
Yeah.
Why was that something that you really wanted to dig into?
I just, when you're on a show for 8 years, people stereotype you. They're like, that's the guy from the Vampire Diaries. That's what he does. He's a, one-trick pony. And I do that sometimes. I watch a TV show, I fall in love with it, and then I can't see myself. I can't see that person as anything else. And so, for me, this was a fantastic opportunity to do something that hopefully people watch and say, oh, okay, Paul can do something a little bit different.
And your character is a bartender. Did you have to learn any mixologist tricks?
I drink a lot of alcohol on my own, so I don't really need to. Although I'm a pretty straight drinker, I'm whiskey, wine, or beer. That's my. But no, I didn't. So don't look closely when you're watching the show, because it doesn't. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Nothing is drinkable.
Pouring random bottles and nothing's drinkable. The worst bartender in town.
What I love too is that there's obviously
the worst bartender in town. That's self-deprecation. That's FE.
These 3 different stories being told, and I haven't gotten far enough in, but I also love that it looks like they're sort of intertwining, right?
Yeah, so what I love about the pilot or the opening, the episode, is that in the first scene you'll just see one of the main characters jog by, and then someone will ride their bike, and then all of a sudden it switches off to that person. And so these characters do eventually intersect, but they cross paths prior to, is that the subway? Oh no, wow, that was amazing. I feel like,
Wow, that's right there. He just initiated there. Wow, is that the subway?
like there was an earthquake.
Thought there was an earthquake. Doesn't say that's S-I-N-E there. Okay.
New York.
He's informative.
Yeah,
He's coming,
no, so it interesting.
He's coming off informative. Okay, so let's go ahead and slap him for informative. With that being said, that eliminates all of the direct types, okay? Because he's informative. Okay, so with that being said, INFJ, ENFJ, INTJ, ENTJ, ISTJ, ESTJ, ISTP, and ESTP are eliminated because he is informative, okay?
Sex a little bit.
The Little Red Riding Hood storyline was really cool for me. I'm a huge Sex and the City fan. And again, like you were saying about breaking character, Kim Cattrall is playing a grandmother.
Yeah. Which I think is very brave.
Which is so brave.
Initiated.
The Little Red Riding Hood storyline was really cool for me. I'm a huge Sex and the City fan. And again, like you were saying about breaking character.
You see how she is? This woman's choosing her role in the conversation. He is not. His words are coming off passive, kind of like he's talking down or sideways or like whatever. It's just like unavoidable.
Kim Cattrall is playing a grandmother.
Yeah. Which I think is very brave.
Which is
Initiated.
so brave and awesome. And she nails it. And her chemistry with Danielle, the actress, is just really great.
Yeah, very good. And I agree. I watched a few episodes of Sex and the City.
A few?
I know, right? No, but I really liked it. Like, it's a great show. Yeah, like, is that... I know, like, it's usually the more of a female audience, but I really enjoyed it. I wasn't like a huge Sex and the City fanatic, but I did enjoy it, and I like that she's a sexy grandma though.
She's really hot.
She's a sexy
She's
grandma.
a hot grandma.
But he just like changed what he's about to say mid-sentence.
So she's, but I like the fact that she's able to embrace a different character, yeah.
And these stories are set in New York City, which when you think of fairy tale, you always imagine them out in the forest. And
New York City's the forest.
Is it? Yeah.
But really,
New York City is the forest. So he just informed her, and he just initiated one more. And
it is.
This guy has no outcome. If you see this guy's not no outcome. So it's looking like he's an informative initiating type.
The sort of the pitch was like New York City is the forest, and that's where everyone plays.
Take me through like how different
And that was T.I.
or how much it elevates the storytelling when you have so many different things to play with it. Take me through like how different it or how much it elevates the storytelling when you have so many different things to play with in New York City from like
that was like the sort of the pitch was like New York City is the forest, and that's where everyone plays.
Take me through like how different it or how much it and these stories are set in New York City. Which when you think of fairy tale, you always imagine them out in the forest and
New York City's the forest.
Is it? Yeah.
But really it is. That was like the
he wanted to give her the fact.
The sort of the pitch was like New York City is the forest, and that's where everyone plays.
Take me through like how different it or how much it elevates the storytelling when you have so many different things to play with in New York City, from like the club scene to
I just love I love New York. I live here. I grew up in Jersey, 45 minutes south, but I spent a lot of my childhood there. And for me, it's the most dynamic city because it's just it's a mecca of culture. You have every culture, every economic class, and everyone's sort of on this island, and they're all just like stuck. Obviously there's the outer boroughs, but like what I love is that we shot in Brooklyn and Manhattan or whatever, and it's just it's all within this like 15-mile radius, and it's like it's pretty amazing. And I've always had this like amazing dream of shooting a show in New York, and it was just so nice. I moved to New York to kind of just get away from the Hollywood scene for a minute. I just kind of was feeling a little bit claustrophobic.
Feeling claustrophobic, I'm gonna say SI.
And so when this came about, it was a very
and that's the
nice
progression as well. Yeah, we feel pretty confident with that he is initiating type. So let's go ahead and hit him with that. So he's initiating. and he's obviously progression. He's not talking about any outcomes here. So with that being said, we're looking at isfj, ESFP. Sorry guys, this is pretty bad. ENTP and ENFP. Okay, he's coming off like a TIFE user, so we'll be looking at these two very shortly. Okay.
Surprise! I don't expect another show in New York. Maybe I'll get lucky 2 in a row, but yeah, it was kind of a dream come true.
Is it really that
I
different
don't
of an
expect
atmosphere?
another show. That'd be anticipation of the future, so I could say that's abstract.
For an actor moving to New York?
I think so. You know, I started doing like one of my, again, like I just wanted to like figure out what I was all about. It's not easy to do a show for 8 years and then kind of, you really just don't know what, like you're like, what do I do now? Like, you know.
See that? What do I do now is progression. It doesn't have no outcomes.
I wanted to do some theater. I did a couple plays.
I did this, I did that.
I wanted to just like wake up in the morning and be able to like get a coffee and not see someone reading a script. You know, and just,
that's pragmatic. He wants freedom. I want to wake up and not see you folks.
And like just be around sort of. I'm not trying to like rip on LA or Hollywood because I really like it and it's great.
Oh, you embrace with FE, huh? Let's get out of here. You're a TIFE user. Okay, he's a TIFE user. We knew that. So we're looking at these two, ENTP and ESFJ, and it's looking like this guy's an ENTP, and personality database will be right.
Especially in the winter. But I wanted to sort of be, you know, I wanted to be able to go to the theater and, you know, walk around, just walking. I enjoy walking.
I wanted to go to the theater and just walk around and have freedom, pragmatic.
Stimulating.
I think anybody can relate to that. Like if you do a job for a while, you just need to reset. You just need
my
it's hard to
freedom.
reset in the same
Yeah,
place.
I still feel like I haven't quite reset, you know. Still trying to like understand what I'm doing as a 36-year-old man.
Still trying to understand what I'm doing as a 36-year-old man. Progression. You're on the journey, buddy.
Getting pigs thrown at me.
On the topic of Vampire Diaries, what I do love is that it seems like you guys are all still really great friends and you're supporting each other in your projects. I just saw the Insta story with Nina, and then Ian posted that Instagram with you. And I mean, how great is that for you that even as you move on, you still have that like family supporting you?
I remember Nina.
Well, both types here, ESFJ and ENTP are both SINE users. So what we're gonna be looking at here is he prag? Is he affiliative? Okay, they're both systematic, so that's done. Okay, and then we'll be looking at, is he abstract? Or is he concrete? Okay, that's what we're primarily looking at here. Is he ESFJ or is he ENTP? Looking like he's ENTP.
Always says this because I remember one time her and I used to bicker on set because you know you work with someone for so many years and you're every day and you're like, ah. So we would like bicker a little like friends, you know. And I looked at her one day, I was like, you know what? I was like, one day I'm gonna miss you and you're gonna miss me. And she's like, yeah, probably.
Future focus again.
And then like, sure enough, the show ended and I'm like, hey, how are you? And then like
the show ended and he's initiating with her.
All of a sudden we're like really good buddies. And you know, and even with Ian, like, I mean, you just spend so much time with, you know, they're both honestly just like really nice people, so it's nice to have that now where you're not forced to be around them. All of a sudden you miss them.
And to get
You're not forced to be around them, yeah, because I like my freedom. That's pragmatic.
to watch your friends move on and do great things.
Yeah,
Need my
exactly.
freedom,
There's no
baby.
better feeling than watching your friends succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So another thing I really loved about this show is the kind of political undertones.
Yeah.
Which is very, you know, it's almost hard not to make a show now and kind of reference some of the things, but it's also really brave to just be that kind of outspoken about certain things.
Yeah, I mean, I at the premiere the other day, it was my first time seeing the show in its you know, entirety, and there's a full-on news station playing with the week's news, and we're so oversaturated with news. I think the news has become our new form of soap operas and reality TV. I mean, really, like we used to all watch soap operas and what people watch back in the day, Dynasty or something. Now you just turn it on and it's amazing. It's like the Kardashians, right? Some people want to escape from all that.
What people want is some people want to escape.
Crap by watching film and television. But I think that it's such a huge part of our lives now that we have to reference it. Otherwise, it'd be kind of like ignorant not to.
You mentioned soap operas, but also
How long it took them to get all that out? Quite a bit. Informative.
fairy tales, and in both of those, there's like the villain and the hero, and so it really, actually, quite expertly ties into the plot a lot because you have all those characters in the media. And
yeah, that's true. That's a good way. I never thought of it that way.
Like Trump could be the big bad wolf.
Or Little Red Riding Hood.
Right.
See how he just brainstormed that so quickly? Or the Little Red Riding Hood. Come on. Indy. Stop playing this guy.
I can see the similarity.
I could keep going.
Initiated. Come on.
So what are you most excited for people to see or experience with this new show?
I just honestly, not to make it about myself, it's very entertaining. It's a real ride. I found myself, sometimes you watch things that you do and you're like, that's not that good, but I have to pretend it's good. It's really good. Like, it's genuinely, like, I found myself in the theater watching it and really wanting to know what happens next, because the stories are fairly contained, and so the Hansel and Gretel storyline and the Little Red Riding Hood storyline, I genuinely was excited to see what was happening next.
Because you didn't get to
Not really, no. I mean, not really.
Buddy is initiating.
No.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, I know we have some fans in the audience, so I think it's a good time to go to questions. Oh, back here's first.
Hello.
Hi, Paul.
Hi.
So my question is, whenever you get a script, what's the first thing that you look for that really impacts your decision as to whether or not you want to take on the role?
It's a good question. I'm a big fan of subtlety. I'm not really interested in doing things that are like a horror film that is just for the shock of horror, or drama, over the top drama where we're asking people to feel sorry for characters. Like, I really enjoy subtlety and gray. I don't like black and white. I like gray.
Said every ENP ever. I don't like black and white. I like gray. My brother hits me with that all the time. Bro, it's not everything's not black and white. It's a lot of gray. And I'm like, bro, shut up.
And so I try to, and the greatest scripts are always subtle. And I know that's a kind of a vague answer, but that's what I look for.
Yeah, that was a vague answer because you're informative.
No.
And Kevin Williamson is a part of the show as well. Was that something that attracted you, obviously?
Yeah. But what I like about Kevin is that Kevin has this Kevin Williamson touch that is very unique. And it's why he's so successful. It's because he's able to do things. It's the most oxymoronic thing, because he'll do something very bluntly, but it'll have a real hint of subtlety and innuendo. So you can watch something, and it's
he's
very.
Talking about system. He's talking about abstract here. He's the ENTP
sort of
guys.
like a pig mask being thrown, right, or a pig head. It's very kind of big, but there's this kind of weird undertone. And I know that's I'm being super esoteric, but honestly, it's a very specific thing that he does, and I don't know how to put it into words.
Well, the best content are things.
Of course you don't.
That you watch it and then 2 days later you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
what that meant.
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
So good. I'm good.
He got to
Sorry,
make people feel good.
Okay. So I was just wondering how you got into this role, and also why these 3 stories? Was there a reason?
I think, well, first of all, Kevin just offered it to me, and I was, very flattered. That was fantastic. So that's how I got involved. And I think initially, the first draft I read had a Jack and the Beanstalk storyline. And then for whatever reason, they decided to switch it to Hansel and Gretel. I don't quite know why, and I don't know actually why these three storylines. Although I suppose these are the three most infamous, I would imagine, right?
Do you think you guys are gonna add any others?
Well, so the show is anthological in that none of the storylines, none of the stories are going to be in season 2, and none of the same actors will be in season 2. So so next season there'll be a whole new set of storylines and a whole new set of actors, I think. That's my understanding of it, which is great.
My understanding, T.I.
Because it's like a big movie. But yeah, but I guess Black Mirror. But Black Mirror is different people each episode, so yeah, similar.
True Detective.
There it is.
Season 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last question?
I think you've sort of answered this question already to an extent, but I'll ask it anyway. You mentioned psychological horror and Kevin Williamson. I've always preferred that kind myself as opposed to the Eli Roth, which isn't even horror. It's just, well, whatever. That's left undefined for now. But what kind of horror do you prefer to watch, if anything?
I'm a big fan of Stanley Kubrick, for example. This is a guy that creates something. I just want to feel unsettled. I'm interested in feeling
my SI experience.
Unsettled and uneasy. I'm not interested in going, oh, that's disgusting. Because I can anybody could do something disgusting. I don't really care. What I want to do is I want to be manipulated into feeling unsettled. I watched a Netflix show last night called The Haunting of Hill House, which was very good and really shot so well, really well told. And it's really a story about like a family grieving. I'm like pitching another show, so you guys, but that's what it is. It's like it's really a story about family grieving, right? From the death of the mom or whatever. And it's interesting, Yeah.
I feel the exact opposite. I like to feel warm and comfortable and not scared.
Right, right.
Are you a big Halloween guy? Are you going to dress up this weekend or?
I'm not. I really am not. I don't like Halloween. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay home and watch this. Okay.
There you go. If you want to do this game, Tell Me a Story premieres on CBS All Access on October 31st.
All right, man. He's ENTP.
Thank you, guys.
So personality database, I actually got this one correct. Paul Wesley is a ENTP. With that being said, he was abstract and he was pragmatic, okay? So with that being said, he is an ENTP. Paul Wesley, ENTP. And so what ENTPs are, there's initiating, they're abstract, they're systematic, they're informative, they're pragmatic, they're progression, they're SINE, and they're TIFE. And like we said, guys, if you like the video, please subscribe and comment below a celebrity you want to see typed, and comment below if you disagree. Let me know what you think we disagree. But this is Mongolian Mindset, and we're out.